Darkest Dungeon is a gothic horror-inspired turn-based RPG about the horrors of adventuring in a dark fantasy setting. It is made up of challenging enemies and multiple mechanical systems that will test your fortitude constantly, just as much as it will test your preparedness and heroes throughout your journey. This video has already taken way longer than I wanted it to take to get out, and so getting right into it, let's see what happened in the 100 weeks I spent in modded Darkest Dungeon. It is week 1 at the Hamlet, and starting right off, we gathered up the usual suspects and left out to scour the ruins to see what else was out there. The first mission isn't usually too bad in Darkest Dungeon, but with the addition of our brand new stress engines, aka the ectomorphs, even the ruins are a bit more of a danger this early on. Ectomorphs being part of one of the mods that add these ghostly enemies that are very, very good at racking up stress in your party if you do not handle them efficiently, which can make the early game really rough because while HP damage isn't really a big concern for us with the ectomorphs, heart attacks are. Also, afflictions are a thing that we want to kind of avoid. So ectomorphs, not really great right. Anyways, nothing major happens on our first expedition, and we end up returning home and getting ready for week 2. As we entered into week 2 at the estate, we ended up having a few visitors that we hired on. Namely, we recruited a Wraith, a Sworn Blade, and a Choir Hunter, and added them to our small but growing band of misfits. We then buckled up and prepared to head back into the ruins. But this was the first time I was using any of the all-new modded classes, such as the Wraith and Choir Hunter, so this early run was really more of a test than anything, just to kind of see what they can do. Before I move on to week 3, I don't exactly remember having too many problems at the start of this run, but here in my notes it says, "Party comp not good" in all caps. So there's probably a clip of what I meant on screen right now. Alright, we're on to week 3, and since this is the early game and there's not a whole lot of crazy stuff going on, and I got crazy stuff kind of marked out, we're just going to blow through these. So week 3, we recruited Kratos, as well as 2 more new classes to try out, and new locations finally opened up in the world. We decided to go and explore the ruins with the new group anyways, and well, it went okay. The Ghostbuster is pretty useful against the ectomorphs, but I still don't like our new stress generators constantly showing up.
Okay, calm down there. Plus 50% damage versus ectomorphs. I guess you just get that for everything though?
Also, Daddy is a bit lackluster at the moment, but I'm sure that he will warm up later on. Give him a little bit of time. Onwards to week 4, and we get to go on a fishing trip. We recruited a shinobi and an occultist from the stagecoach, and then we took the gang down to the cove for some fishing and trying to get our hands on a shiny new occultist item.
Yep, now you're gonna protect. See, that's what these things do. They protect the most problematic ones in the group, which is why we want to get the shaman out, because the shamans are what caused this. We're gonna struggle for the first few weeks, but as soon as we hit Antiquarian, you're gonna see a big change in a lot of this. We got this. Oh, they have a shaman. Oh, he dodged. At the very least, we're gonna stun him. Good job. Oh, I could kiss you. Oh, I hate the cove all the time. I'm having the best run ever in the cove right now. That was dead.
The run ended up going really well with no worries. However, Pierre-Paul, our occultist, was technically the MVP of the squad, but Buddy needs a bit of affirmations to effectively heal anyone.
Pierre-Paul don't like each other? Apparently. Let's go ahead and just stun. There you go. needed some words of encouragement. That's all it was. Good job.
Onward to week 5, and the Magic Mountain has finally opened up for us to explore. However, we did some hero upgrading at the estate, and after that minor bout of upgrading, we ventured into the court with the OG party to burn the thronging hives. This will later come back to haunt me. I have never messed with the Crimson Court to much extent before, and I didn't think that doing one mission there would kick off a villain arc so severe as to what unfolds later on.
Ronald, you can chill out, buddy. We're just making the best of a bad situation here. Who's craving the blood? You are? Have some. Yes. Shoot him. Shoot him now. Shoot him now. There it is! Dismiss my guy!
Anyways, we defeated the Crocodilian and obtained the Saw Hunter's item in preparation for nabbing one of them when they show up. Fortunately, by the end of everything, 3 of the party were now afflicted with the Crimson Curse. And the issue was only just beginning. Week 6, we decided to delve back into the ruins once again on a longer quest, using the Daddy Squad to obtain a good antiquarian item, because we want to abuse the antiquarian's abilities throughout this run. Only this time we used our second occultist as he can mark targets for the Seraph to abuse with her abilities.
I'm here for it. Let's go.
In my notes I put new squad comp is great. I don't remember using this squad a whole lot, so I'm really doubting that sentiment. However, the mission went by super fast, and with no lasting maladies contracted by the members of the Daddy Squad, we peacefully returned to the hamlet. Week 7, we ventured into the Weld with the Antiquarian and our new Leper to get some nice money started. We did have a bit of a rough run, but nothing to really worry over, and in the end of it all, we walked away from the mission with about 13,000 gold to add to our pockets, so not really complaining here. Week 8, and we unlocked the Sunward Isles for exploration, aka Weeaboo Land. Woo! We don't really do a whole lot there, I'm not gonna lie to you. But we did venture back into the Warrens this week with Monet and Daddy, and we ended up getting a lot more money. But at the trade-off of Pierpont contracting not only a case of phthisis, but also the Black Plague in the same run. I think we're gonna need some vaccinations stat. Onward to week 9, where we unlock the Pet Cemetery. But I don't really know what the Pet Cemetery is, because I've never really liked any of the trinkets that show up there, so I've never explored the place. Anyways, we decided to take the Dark Souls group into the Cove for a short test run. And the run went okay. There was nothing major that happened, but we did figure out that Bachmare is a genuine stress engine for our group.
You party's done. Oh, that's a thing. I realize why you have so much stress now. Oops.
In the end of it all, we made 9k in profit, and then we promptly returned back home. Now, week 10, it's the end of the first batch. The start of the game is done. We are moving into the actual playtime. So, we took the Antiquarian out with some new friends back into the ruins. We are really favoring this spot this time. And the run went really smooth with not really many issues, and unfortunately, we do have some vampire heroes wasting away in town, so we're gonna need to return to the court for blood here soon. on, we're to week 11, and at this point in time when I was recording, I got sick and didn't have any voice. So there are no in-game commentary moments from this section. And my notes are pretty short, so we ended up gathering a party to explore the mountaintops, and we accrued heavy stress damage, almost losing a couple of heroes to heart attacks in our excursion. But we persevered, and we left the mountain about 18,000 gold coins richer with no fatalities. Week 12 was relatively quick and painless as we took the vampire squad back to the Crimson Court for a blood run, and ended up gathering about 11 bottles of the good red and a small amount of cash before heading back home. Week 13 was our first big week. This was the week where we took the vampire squad out to hunt down the necromancer apprentice. We ended up clearing the dungeon and killing the apprentice with ease, and we got another good relic for the Saw Hunter. If only we could ever find one in the stagecoach, that is. I could tell I was not really into the whole recording process at the time, because all my notes say for week 14 is nothing remarkable happened outside of venturing into the Weld for an item for Daddy. So we're gonna put the end of the week here, and also the results screen because I don't remember what it is. Week 15, however, was pretty big. To start things off, we recruited Guts. We outfitted him with the items that we had been stockpiling, and we renamed him Butts for legal reasons. Nothing more. Then we delved into the Warrens and accomplished a medium battle mission, where we managed to actually get the expanded inventory mod to work correctly now. So now that kicks in. Week 16 was another big week for us as we finally recruited a Saw Hunter. And after applying all of the items that we had stockpiled for one up to this point, we ventured deep into the Sunward Isles in search of the Blades of Chaos for Daddy. In the process, we beat the Whale Skeleton mini-boss, and we headed home about 13k richer. Week 17, we did some minor hero upgrading, and then we ventured back into the Sunward Isles in hunt of a large yokai.
Okay, I'm not as worried anymore. I think I might have been a little, oh my goodness! Been a little over anxious. We got the monster squad here. No, let's just end it. You can do it. You can end it right now. Like I said!
Out of all of this, we obtained a really nice trinket for Reynald, and then we returned home. In week 18, we didn't really like any of the rewards for any of the missions that were currently out there, so we just dove back into the ruins for a quick cash grab and to reset those rewards for later expeditions. In the process, the hero poem kind of contracted the blood curse, so kind of lost out on more than we won on this week.
I do need to upgrade his equipment, though. Roger. But other than that, I mean, even just the base right now, Roger's doing fine. Doing fantastic.
Week 19, we decided to dive back into the Crimson Court in an attempt to find the Baron and take him on.
Wait, well, hold on. Whoa, what? Quest is epic. You are not expected to finish epic quests in one attempt. You may regroup, abandon the quest at any time, and your progress is saved. When you obtain another invitation, you may continue the quest from where you left off. I don't like the sound of that. Reynald, I need you to hit.
However, I was not expecting anything about the length of this mission, and we ended up losing Reynald.
Wow!
Pretty shortly into the excursion.
That's the first time he's ever been on death's door, and he didn't even get past the check the first time. Wow!
So we ended up retreating back to the hamlet for now. Moving into week 20, and We needed a win, so we gathered up some of our gang and we hunted down the sonorous prophet.
And we're done. Good job, Butts.
In the process, Butts contracted the gray rot and we ended up needing to hospitalize him.
Oddly enough, that's not horrible.
At the same time, we ended up sending Darcy away for some treatment as well to get rid of some negative quirks that he's been holding on to. Week 20 was both a win and a rough patch.
I don't know what that means or what that does, but it's a big one, I'm assuming, by the skull and the cost. So let's get rid of that.
Week 21, we ended up taking the Kraken Slayer out to test in the weld. Didn't go super great, as I don't fully understand how the moveset is supposed to work for the Kraken Slayer, unless they're just supposed to be like a very high burst.
That's very situational. I don't understand why I am applying the mark for her on everything that bleeds if it only hits the first row. That feels like a lot of effort for not a lot of payoff.
Either way, we ended up with 2 more cursed heroes out of this whole thing, and yeah, we desperately needed to focus the courtyard again soon. Week 22, we basically just dubbed the Cove for a new leper trinket with the A-Team, and their excursion was very successful. Overall, we came out of this whole ordeal with about 20k in profit, and we moved into week 23, where we ended up recruiting a monk. A monk. I love the monk class in Darkest Dungeon. Anyways, we upgraded the stagecoach again for some higher level recruit possibilities before we delved back into the Warrens on a veteran level mission. And we ended up having a bit of a rough run out of this one.
I feel like bringing the Antiquarian has been more of a liability in this one than anything else. Or not. Bringing Butts into this one has been more of a liability than anything else.
All in all, everyone survived, and we made some bank.
You're bulimic?
Week 24, and we started our time off by buying a very expensive trinket before leaving on another mission to the Sunward Isles.
No licky licky. Oh, the turtles.
But the Sunward Isles are crawling with turtles, and they all want to make sure we have a bad day. Yes, even the small ones. Rule of thumb here in the Isles, Mikey, Raph, Donnie, and Leo all have it out for you every moment, every step, and if you let them, they will mess you up with their party buffs. It's week 25, and we started off by getting our Vestal the book that she wanted, as well as tucking Darcy into treatment, yet again, to get rid of his newly acquired tapeworm. After that, we hired a powder keg hunter that came into town, and we sat back out saving some money this time around. However, this week we had a new quarry. We were off to hunt the Kraken in the courtyard. The beast put up a fight.
Here's the question, Doctor. Do we focus on the big guy, or do we take out the minis? But then he just pops them right back. And you can't stun him. That one I do want to disappear. Do want that one to disappear. Yikes.
Prodigious size alone.
And we're done with the Kraken.
But overall, we won, and we gained a pretty strange looking trinket from defeating the beast in the swamp. Week 26, and we took the Monkin gang out to the mountains for a powder keg item. And we had a relatively weirdly peaceful stroll through the snow
been a very peaceful walk through the mountains. I don't know how to feel about that.
Week 27 was actually pretty short and sweet. We ended up hunting the hag in the weld, and we didn't wind up boiled in her cauldron. And we ended up walking away with the Dragon Slayer's soul trinket for one Roger Ornstein to complete his set and giving him a pretty nice stat bump. Onwards to week 28, where a strange anomaly town event started. And we were about to jump in and knock out this anomaly, however...
Yes! Okay, we're heading to the Sunward Isles. We have to go to the Sunward Isles, and we have to take the good squad. I don't care about money, I just need them to stay alive and finish the quest. We have butts going along for this journey, because we're going to save Puck. Puck has been captured by the yokai, and we gotta save our little elf buddy. Okay? That's the goal of this week. That is 3 misses in a row, buddy. You've gotta work on that. Hey, hold on. That's a corpse oh my god, I forgot that was a corpse clear. Beautiful.
We absolutely destroyed the Sunward Isles quest, but the rift damaged some of our buildings while we were away. But we could live with it because we brought Puck home safe and sound.
Okay, our blacksmith's fine. And our guild is fine. We need a lot of deeds. We do need a lot of deeds. Indeedly do need a lot of deeds.
Week 29 was pretty big, and we started it off by sending both Darcy and our antiquarian to the hospital for some disease treatment. After that, we gathered up Grintville, the Seraph, the Shinobi, and Postal, and went hunting for the Siren down in the cove.
I don't know how this is going to work. Now, why are you doing that? Oh, you are not a good healer. You are not a good healer. You are not a good healer. Oh, you're not a good healer. Can you please heal better now? Mayhaps? Potentially? You're both not great, but you're a little more useful than you, so... Oh! Hostile! You and I are gonna have words? Giant clam, giant clam, giant clam, giant clam, giant pearl, giant clam, giant pearl, giant clam, oyster, oyster, giant oyster. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Heal yourself. Now we're talking. We're still in this. You never give up. You never give up. You keep fighting. You are not doing what we agreed. Yeah, he's turning back to his old self. Postal. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I made a mistake. I did a thing. I did a boo-boo. Nice. Okay. Hit the mark. Good damage. Good opener. Being one person down is a little, not great right now. Okay, so hear me out. I can just use the bandages to get rid of the bleeding. There's nothing that's gonna outright kill, as far as I know. And I can set up the hex for the Seraph. You know what, we're doing it. Hit the mark for okay damage. That's dead. Now you're gonna try to summon for one action that we know of. Unless we get the stun. You don't have armor. You can hit for 5 to 10, or we can hit for 3 to 5. 76% versus 66%. Go big or go home. Seraph for the end. Let's go.
We had a bit of a rough time in the dungeon, but we persevered and we came out victorious after a fierce fight to the finish.
Not a bit. I ain't mad at it. No. You know what? Have it. Have it. Rid of the bandage. Take both those. We're going home. We won. Siren's out of here.
Week 30 was a pretty big week, as we took the A-Team back on the hunt for the Baron in the Crimson Court. We ended up exploring a lot of the map, and we wound up fighting the Crocodilian again.
What are you doing here? We killed you already. Set up our buffs. We gotta fight the Crocodilian again. You can heal yourself next round. Oh, there it is. And everybody hold on to your butts. Not hold on to butts, but hold on to your butts. Oh, good. Out of everybody, that's the best person to go after. And there it is. Butts.
But after facing the Crocodilian, we decided to regroup at the Hamlet and come back another week to finish the Baron.
A trifling victory.
This was the point in time where I started to realize just how big of an issue the Crimson Court was going to be throughout the rest of this run. I have very little notes for week 31. To concisely put it, we have defeated the Swine Prince and lost our Lord's Blade in the process. So there's a lot more context in the clips on screen right now that I have in my notes.
Okay. In theory, this party was awesome. In execution, this party kind of blows. Oh, Prince. Oh, Piggy Prince. We got ambushed. There wasn't a fight there, to my knowledge. Unless we just didn't have scouting. We didn't have scouting. Fine. I am an idiot.
A blazing star is...
You are not pretty to look at. Yeah, hit the piggy in the back. Thank you.
Their formation is broken.
Get you out of here.
Maintain the offensive. How many rats will
Okay.
it take to gnaw
In the end, we
through
didn't lose
atomic
anything major.
flesh?
Okay. I know that I keep saying that we need to do the courtyard, and we do. But in reality, not too worried about the blood thingy. The odds of us losing one of the ones we like that are in town, the ones we really like are with us, is low. In my head, right? And while I could go do the courtyard, get some blood, hopefully try to get an invitation down here in the Sunward Isles, we have an item for butts that we really want to get.
Week 32, however, was a pretty big week. See, we took a long voyage back down into the Sunward Isles in search of the Berserker armor for butts. While out on the mission, unfortunately, because of how low on blood supplies we were, Pierpont ended up wasting away, and Butts was creeping ever closer to the same fate.
Oh no, it can happen when you're even in a map. Oh no.
We were successful in retrieving the Berserker armor, but Butts is looking in pretty rough shape right now, and we are in need of blood.
Oh no.
The court is calling.
That's not good.
Week 33 was pretty simple, as in our dire straits that we were in right now, we went back into the Crimson Court in search of some more blood. In the end of everything, we ended up getting our boy Butts' drinky drinks and some extra for reserve. Week 34 was pretty light. We just basically ended up venturing back into the ruins in search of a new gear piece for our Reaver. This is also where we figured out that the Reaver isn't super great, or at least I didn't use them to much efficiency. But they could do some decent damage as a fill for us. Week 35, we just ended up taking some rookies back down into the cove for some minor experience points and a brand new shiny monk item. And we figured out that this party comp does work pretty well together. And the run went pretty smooth. Week 36, and it was time for us to hunt down the remains of the sodden crew. Our party performed gloriously in this endeavor. The crew proved to be no match as our blight cleansed their bones from the cove. And we proceeded back to the hamlet, spoils in tow.
Finally, a sailor's death for captain and crew. Fitting.
When it comes down to weeks like week 37, we're just going to kind of blow through them because there's not a whole lot that happens in them. Mainly, we just went back to the Crimson Courts and we acquired more blood from the swamps of Louisiana. Week 38, and we ended up getting another one of those spatial anomaly events in the town. And we ended up fending off all of the features that this anomaly threw at us for a pretty nice cosmic trinket for the trouble.
Even the... Oh, this is a 17 rounder. Oh boy. Dragon tails, dragon tails. Oh, you stunned. You got stunned.
Rounding out the end of the 30s block, we ended up taking some of the new rookies down into the ruins for some experience points, led by Daddy to see how he was performing at this point.
Annihilate.
Big ol' swing with Rabid Daddy. Got them daddy rabies. That just sounds bad.
Starting off the 40 block pretty strong, we went and hunted down the Necromancer with the Leper Squad.
Fierce.
There he is.
Nightmare made material.
158. Those sound like bitch numbers. Oh, you apply stealth. That's cute. Look at that. There he is. There's the boy. Look at him there. Get back. Stay down.
With no living sinew to actuate them.
Who was worried? Who was even worried?
Week 41, and we delved back into the Warrens with some new rookies to destroy 3 swine altars. Everything went pretty well.
1 shrine down. That's the medieval version of 3 doors down.
Except Cumin, Butts' understudy, decided to follow exactly in a Senpai's footsteps and got himself cursed with the blood plague. That continues to plague our run at this point. Week 42 was another big week for us as we decided to hunt down the formless flesh down in the Warrens. And this boss is officially my new favorite Darkest Dungeon boss. It has to take heavy inspiration from The Thing, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. So, yeah.
Total health bar. Okay, multiple stacks, total health bar. This is gonna be fine. Perfectly fine. And it's Eldritch. Hit that one with bleed. Hit this one with bleed. Oh yeah, this is gonna be super dope. Don't like the anus snakes. Got what, 2 HP? Stab it home, baby.
Its destruction is a small consolation, given the implications of its terror.
And with that out of the way, we ended up beating the Thing into submission by giving it the equivalence of the Black Plague via Paracelsus.
This is slow and
Alright, week 43, we delved back into the courtyard. You know the deal. It's a blood run. We ran in, got some blood, got out. Nothing big. Outside of the fact that Morisco kinda contracted the Black Plague. So yeah.
And the Black Plague?
Week 44, we took a long, snowy walk through the mountain playing fetch with the local puppies for way too long to hopefully unlock the mountain boss. Which we did in week 45, and we ventured to the wrong location at first, so we had to retreat.
Wait, no, I clicked the wrong one!
And hunt the Wendigo in what I thought was the following week, which threw off a large portion of this run going forward until I corrected myself. So we're still on week 45, and we hunted down the Wendigo up on the mountaintops.
Oh, it doubles down because he has 2 actions. That is not great. I see problems. And that's some heavy bleed. Stop hitting Cruella, please! Emery, stun him. Yes? Big damage, thank you. Should be dead. Should be dead. Should be dead. Should be dead.
Monstrous size has no intrinsic.
Hey, yeah. Look at that. And we got a flagellant item. We're hunting for the tribal chief. We will replace him.
Week 46, and not totally learning our lesson about how cold the mountains are, we decided to search the heart of the mountain for a cure to the biting cold disease. Frostbite. In the process, though, we ended up losing Cruella as the tribal chief and his entourage attacked us. We did end up getting a cure for Emery and his ailment, but we did ultimately leave one soul behind on that mountain. Week 47, we took a squad down into the Warrens once again, and, well, 3 of them ended up contracting the Crimson Curse. But we did, however, strip a Baron's invitation from the party who afflicted us, meaning that we can once again delve deep into the courtyard to try and find the Baron with the God Team.
Seize this momentum.
We need that.
Push on.
Week 48, we decided to delve back into the hunt for that elusive Baron, and the search was thorough. But after suffering mightily against yet another crocodilian,
is the crocodilian really going to be the end of the A-team? The only way we're going to damage this thing is through riposte. That's not good. Get him off of this door. Get him off of this door. Get him off of this door.
we needed to call the search off for now as our supply of blood and food was running low. Starting to feel like Captain Hook with how this goddamn blizzard won't leave me alone.
Oh my god, it keeps going.
Week 49, we returned to the courtyard once again on a blood supply run, and the numbers of our roster are continuously growing to become afflicted, which is really becoming a problem at this point. We need to get to the Baron soon. Week 50, we ventured back into the court for yet another blood run, and we ended up coming out blood rich. But unfortunately, still no invitation in hand, which means that the Baron eludes us still.
This expedition at least promises success.
There's no invitation. We're still paupers in the eyes of the Count.
But his villainy will meet our blade soon. Week 51, we also went back on one last quick expedition into the court for some more blood for safety reasons, and a possible invitation from the Baron, of which we didn't find. Week 52, we went on the hunt for a leper item for Plunkett. In the process, we ran into some afflicted down in the Warrens, and well, we ended up inducting 3 new members into the Insectoid Blood Legion that we were forming. Week 53, and my notes seem to have failed me yet again when it comes to the Swine King, as all it says here is we ventured deep into the Warrens to commit an act of regicide against the mountainous Swine King. As far as I remember, I think we tried to deal with Wilbur first, which you'll probably be seeing right now. And I think that was the mistake we made, and we had a bit of a rough patch with this one.
Okay.
As we just more or less
Move
enraged the
back.
Swine King.
Keep the bleed on. And we're done.
Week 54, and we gathered the God Squad once again, and trudged our way through the swamps of the Baron's Court, finding the Green Gate Key and venturing into the Baron's Keep.
Oh no! No! Why are healing skills disabled? Oh no! This is a bad thing. This is a bad thing.
It was a hard-fought
Keep him
battle,
there.
and we nearly lost Postal.
Oh my god. What? This is level 3? I need you to not take your actions for me. I need you to not take your actions for me. Just get rid of the thing. Get rid of the thing. Just get rid of the thing. You, back row. Why would you miss? The debuffs better be gone. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Thank you. Oh. Oh ho 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 ho. Attack the thing in the back again. Or don't. Oh, this has gone so south. Hey, we'll take that. We'll take that. We'll take that. Both have an accuracy base of 90. We have an accuracy base of 105. Just end it. End it. Butts, this is your moment.
The jig is
That's my boy.
On week 55, we ended up just taking some rookies down into the Weld for a cash grab, more so as a cooldown from the previous week's endeavors with the Baron. Everything went fine, and it was a chill week.
be gone.
Week 56, we took a veteran mission in the ruins, and even though there were new enemies waiting for us deep within those halls, our champions valiantly accomplished their task of mapping out the lower levels before returning to the hamlet.
Oh, I've almost forgot about you guys. I wish I was capable of forgetting about you guys.
Hey, editing Benny here. As I'm just finishing all this up and putting everything together, I realized I completely skipped over week 57. It's not a huge thing. I mean, we didn't really do much with 57 except for hunt down the next stage of the Prophet, but yeah, it caught me a little off guard when I got here, and I realized I went from 56 into 58.
There we
So,
go.
enjoy some of the Prophet footage.
In life, his claims
That
to
went a lot better than I thought it was going to.
dubious.
On week 58, after we returned from our investigation of the ruins, we were greeted by a cosmic invasion beginning in the hamlet, and we immediately geared up to deal with it. We saddled up the God Squad and struggled our way through the 32-round invasion, nearly losing Darcy in the first few rounds of the assault.
We do have everybody maxed out gear-wise. I don't have any more Vestal items. Oh my god!
For the slightest
What was that? What is up with these crits?
impressive.
Don't you heal him. Don't you heal him. You didn't heal him, but you gave him a stun resist, which... Okay. 2 rounds left for that. Go ahead.
Well struck.
Big numbers! That's our guy! Can you please, for the love of all things that are holy and unholy, hit with your visceral? No, you can't. I just read the bottom line of text. I don't like the implications that there's a bard involved now, but I'm not going to praise you for doing average. We need... Honestly, we need Paracelsus out of here. We're done. We're done. We're done. Send us home, butts. The reward's not even that great.
On week 59, we took the Daddy Squad along with Monet into the Weld for XP and monetary gains, as well as setting up a Resolve XP buff for the following week. Where on week 60, we ended up taking down the Brigand 8-pounder in the Weld with 0 difficulty, might I add. Week 61, we ventured down into the farmstead, where we found out that our Thrall is a monster of a tank. And we ended up grinding our way through all of the first farmstead mission. Hold on, plus 26 death blow resist? Why have I not been using you earlier? Week 62, when we returned from the farmstead, we were greeted by a town event that... What is this? Rather unsettled me. The Shrieker is near. What does that mean? Anyways, we ventured into the Warrens and the search for the thing from the stars, hoping to try and find it and see if we can get anything good out of it. But we didn't end up finding it, and we just completed the mission and went home. On week 63, we delved back into the Warrens in search of the thing. Still no luck, but we did meet the Talon Brigands down there, and they were holding hostages. The hostage went free this day.
Oh, okay.
The swine in those tunnels found themselves a feast in our wake.
And you get a stress heal from it.
Week 64, we took a surprisingly good squad into the Weld in search of a Vestal item, and ended up getting a few more legendary heroes out of it by the end. We're pretty far into the run now, and in week 65, the God Squad banded together and led the first assault on the darkest dungeon.
This place looks awesome.
We're gonna play smart. We're gonna play smart right from the start. No chances. Alright, we need to make healing our top priority. Through fight after fight, they struggled against the might of the cult, before finally they cut through to the beast. A squamous thing, incomprehensible in form and strength.
Wait, is that the boss? It didn't scout it as the boss room. Oh, I wanted to set up buffs. It's fine, we can do this. We're fine. We're golden. It's the God Squad.
Why are you passing, Darcy? Remember, gang, if it bleeds, we can kill it.
It's dead.
Ultimately, our heroes won this day. But they returned changed.
Yeah, did we have people die? What was that? What was that? Fuck was wrong with Paracelsus there? What's up with Rue? I'm worried about this here. Do we have, like, imposters? Are we secretly playing Among Us?
Back in week 66, the infestation is growing in these lands. The Viscount beckons us, with the threat of the affliction hanging over our heads once again. However, deep in the Warrens, there lies a festering maggot of malleable flesh. Gathering a squad of up-and-comers with the leadership of Paracelsus, we delved once again into the Warrens and slew the imaginative beast. Week 67, we made a lot of progress in the Crimson Court mission. However, the game really said, "Hey, you see how much progress you're making? How do you feel about doing all that again?" Because my PC had a blue screen issue that I had to trace and sort out before coming back to this. Luckily, though, progress was saved, but for about half of the pickup, I didn't realize that all my microphone drivers weren't working, and I had to go update them and get them working properly again. So after everything was fixed, we spent another hour in the courtyard before finally needing to leave before the party had heart attacks. When I come back here, and the boss is like 2 rooms away from me, I'm going to cry a little. Week 68, we ended up taking Mantle, Cumin, Erkenbor, and the Bowman to the farm hunting for the miller. This place hurts my eyes a little bit, not gonna lie. After a few temporal rifts deviating our path, we came face to face with the miller himself.
We have a pretty high stun resist there, bud. So how about we just skip it? Let's get on brand. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. But first, let me get the big shot in. Kabam! Yes. That's a little bit. That's low on damage, though. Either way, good round butts. Good round butts. You know, one good swing and we end this here. There it is. That's our boy.
It's week funny number time, and we decided to head into the pet cemetery just to check it out at least once before we finish up. While there, we found out you can get a really useful item that reduces damage from bloodsucker type enemies by about 20%. And we may have decided that there's potentially a few more runs to the Pet Cemetery upcoming in the future. Should we have the time, as we are now in crunch mode to finish the Darkest Dungeon missions before day 100, with round 2 being in the 70s, round 3 being in the 80s, and finally the last run being, hopefully, on day 100.
Interesting.
Should we complete them all by that point, that is. Week 70, we took out the B Squad and hunted the Kraken in the courtyard for a guaranteed Viscount invitation. And we destroyed the beast.
Okay, not a fan. You get more actions as the fight goes on. And I don't quite appreciate it one little bit. Going down, fish boy. Aw, you moved out of the way. I wanted to have him do it. Finish it, Morisco.
The bigger the beast, the greater the glory.
A little bit of an overachiever. We could have used that a while back, but good.
When we returned home, we were pleasantly surprised by a town event that allowed us to resurrect one of our fallen comrades. Pierpont was valiant, but our efforts lie with Reynald, and we brought the Holy Zealot back from the lands beyond to once again toil through our struggles.
It's not the smartest move by any means, or any stretch of the imagination. But we bring Reynald back, we can get the achievement still. Plus, Postel's doing a fantastic job in Pierpont's place, so we don't really need another one of those. So we're bringing Reynald back, baby!
A mighty sword arm anchored by holy purpose. A zealous warrior.
The boy has returned.
Week 71. The time was upon us to grab the God Squad and end the terror that the Viscount set upon us. A few rooms away from where we start, we found the door to the boss.
So it didn't tell me that this was the boss room. It doesn't have that much health, actually. Yeah, just set up our buffs. This shouldn't be that bad. We could stun it, actually. Oh, a heal. Alright, butts. You got a special job this time, buddy. Take down those bodies. Oh, okay, now this kind of did screw us a little bit, but, you know, it is what it is.
Decimated.
Oh yeah, this is over. This is over. We're done.
Let us hope he enjoyed his last meal.
Yeah.
So it turns out, I also somehow skimmed over and missed week 72 when putting all of this together. So we're going to cover it now really quickly, considering that there's not a whole lot that happened. Basically what we did was we took the newly reconstituted Reynald out for some exercise in the Weld, and we unlocked the next boss battle with the Hag. On week 73, after dealing with the Viscount, we gathered a small band led by Reynald, and ventured out to put an end to the toil and trouble the Hag was causing in the Weld. While there, we nearly lost Beignet to the Witch's Pot. But overall,
On the brink.
we came out on top.
The wood is still poisoned.
Week 74 was the proving grounds for Booker and Cumin, as we set out to bring them into the legendary ranks of our forces on a champion-level ruins mission to gather 3 holy relics and return home. Week 75, we took Reynald, Grentville, and Beignet and the young Vestal out to the ruins for more XP, and more ruins progress. After all, only a few weeks left before we need to assault the Darkest Dungeon once again, and I kinda wanna get some experience in these other places as well. Week 76, and we took the newly formed Daddy Squad out for a romp in the ruins, and... oh no, that was a mistake.
What? Yeah, let's stack that up. You can respawn things? Huh, yeah, this took a turn. This one enemy here took this party comp and made it a living hell. As long as we have a guaranteed death's door heal, eat that.
Triumphant pride precipitates a
Not
dizzying
horrible,
fall.
but that is rough.
See, we nearly lost Daddy a few times, but we held on, and we also discovered not one, but 2 new enemy types that we really do not like. Everyone survived in the end, but we are more cautious now. Week 77, we took a remixed Daddy Squad out for some Ruins XP, and well, we ran into the Collector in the second hallway, and we lost our Bowman while nearly getting TPK'd.
To be spent.
Oh, that's not good. That's the first time he's shown up in the entire game. You've had so many chances when I've had good parties. You want to come when I have this party? Oh, you. Don't like that. Really don't like that. I thought it was just one. That's 3. Or 2. 2 different ones, but 3 of them are still enraged, so we take more damage, or deal more damage. Go ahead and knock out the lower of them.
Obliterated.
Probably should have gone with the higher of them, but you know, here we are. No.
This is no place for the weak.
All right.
Foolhardy.
Okay. We're on 1 HP in a dream, buddy. 1 HP in a dream. 1 HP in a dream. Please roll big on this. You have a 28% chance to crit. If you crit on a medium roll, we are done. Oh my god! No! 4 HP. 76% chance to hit. End it now. No! Why? No! No! No, not like this. Please hit. Please hit. You have 95% chance. Oh! I'm not even happy about winning.
Week 78, and well, that's the final week before we dive back into the dungeon again. So let's make it a good one. We took a few of the A-listers out to get the Ruins XP up, and we mentally prepared to head back into the Darkest Dungeon for round 2 the following week.
A dizzying blow to body and brain.
Alright, cool. Alright. Plunkett, not really pulling your weight, buddy.
Clearly in view.
It's week 79 now, and it's time to once again delve back into the Darkest Dungeon.
For it needs
So we
no
took the time to double-check skills on characters, thought about combinations, and formulated a strategy for this long haul of a mission.
The creature's blessings
We eventually
are
settled on
as
Junia
repulsive
as the
they are
healer,
robust.
Roger as a riposting defender, Butts as our main tank and siege engine, and Darcy for the viscerals off stun, playing around the 3 strength of riposte to hopefully auto-fight most of the battles.
Here we go. Team God's Paw is heading into the Darkest Dungeon again.
We ventured into the dungeons, and were met with a very rough realization. See, the 3 who entered before were stricken with near full stress bars before we even got started. Unspeakable horrors being faced back to back will do that to you.
Well, this is good.
The God Squad persevered, though,
Okay.
and though we were stricken down by afflictions left and right,
Hey, you know what? You know what? Good on him.
we also found virtues hidden within our heroes. And one after another, we achieved victory after victory, and succeeded in our mission to deal a blow to the heart of darkness. Side note, I wrote in the RikuDarkness.mp3 note for myself to remember it in editing, and I accidentally typed .mp2. And then fell down a very long rabbit hole of encoding information and wound up converting the line to MP2 format just because I fat-fingered a 2 instead of a 3. So that's where my brain's at right now, in case you were wondering. It literally sounds no different. Why did I take the time to do this? Onward to week 80, and we took Renaud and Watered out for some final XP to raise them into the legendary branch of our forces. We also hunted down the Master Necromancer with 0 issues. You know, outside of the constant screaming ghost enemies that fill the ruins. Following that, in week 81, we start the retirement mission of the God Squad. Diving deep into the thicket of the court in search of the Countess to hopefully rid ourselves of this vile curse for good. We traveled deep and past the Yellow Gate before Darcy succumbed to madness and became irrational, causing increased stress on the party. After traveling a long path, we came to a locked blue gate and needed to backtrace all the way to the crossroads. We continued to push on, but Darcy's rational thoughts prevented us from treating his wounds, and in his delirium he received a fatal blow, laying the Mad Hunter to rest. Shortly thereafter, we returned to the hamlet, a new void left behind by this expedition into the Crimson Bog. Week 82, we sent Postel, Erkenbor, Dismas, and Morisco into the Crimson Court in search of the primeval Kraken. The beast put up a hell of a fight, but our team managed to put the beast down for good before returning home.
There it is.
New invitation in hand. Week 83, we took a ragtag group of mismatched heroes into the Warrens for a short excursion for pathfinding our way to the boss. We nearly lost a couple of them as our healer could not seem to get a party heal out at all. Week 84, we ventured down into the sewers yet again, making more progress towards the boss. This time with the newly minted Daddy Brigade. Week 85 was a big brain week as we left our tiny mind behind in favor of a shiny new walnut-sized brain. As we made the connection that the rank of the missions don't matter in the boss progress experience bars. It's the length of the mission that determines how much progress you make, not what rank it is. And so we prepared ourselves and took on a long scouting mission into the Warrens to try and make up for our 2-week short game blunders. It's week 86, and we now dive once again into the Warrens in hopes of clearing out our swinus infestation. Get it? Swinus infestation. Meanwhile, in week 87, we took the God Squad 2.0 down to purge the Warrens of the mighty and repulsive Swine God and its keeper, the terrible Wilbur.
So be it.
The battle actually went a lot smoother than the past 2 incarnations of the entity.
Today is the day that the Swine God falls. Alright, you little shit.
And we egressed the pig pit with Wilbur's flags in tow.
And now you have none.
1 week until we venture back into the darkest dungeon once more. And since the 80s have been all about the Warrens, we take a break from that filthy place and instead head back to the Crimson Bog in search of the Countess. We spend way too long searching for any of the keys and run out of blood. And in one last-ditch effort before retreating, we check the one hallway we avoided, and lo and behold, it held the key that connects us to the boss room.
Oh my goodness. Alright, we're gonna make a hard read here, hard read. I have a feeling that's the connecting room, and it's going to either go down to center or up. And then there will be the boss chamber, connected off the middle room. That's my hard read. That's what I'm going with. We're going to the center room.
With our party wasting from lack of blood, we need to retreat for now and let them recover. But at least now we know where we're going.
Alright, I'm comfortable with that. You know, we're gonna leave it there. We're 1 room away from the boss. That's gotta be the boss. That is the boss.
The day was finally upon us in week 89. Time for the final scouting venture into the belly of the beast itself.
What if the darkest dungeon was just the friends we made along the way?
In search of the vital point in which would bring us directly to the heart.
Alright, fine, we'll do it.
God Squad 2, Electric Boogaloo, valiantly slaughtered their way through the beast's innards.
Can we reorganize a bit?
Destroying any and all opposition that attempted to
Not
throw
hard.
them off their quarry.
That's not pleasant. I don't like whatever you are. Okay, Booker. You must succeed. No. Hit both of them. Because you can't actually hit the back row reliably. Briscoe coming in hot. Did you pass? Oh my god, no, you're the one with imposter syndrome. Oh, I didn't look at that.
One's limits.
What just happened? We just got sent to a battle room. Interesting. I can't make all of you be stupid. Good. 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 Bad. Hang on, if everybody focuses it, we can take it down. We have a 41% chance to crit. And you didn't do it. It's gonna teleport us. It's right there. It's on death's door, and you're gonna teleport us. Human, it's your time. Human, it is your time to shine. You can end this. So close. Okay, you know, it's only healing, which is just stressing me out more. End it. Oh, you can't. You can't. No. Oh, there it is. There we go. Alright, 50-50s here. But left is best. Oh no. I have been searching for 50 minutes! Okay, this mission's actually not been as bad as I thought it was gonna be, and I was freaking out for, apparently nothing. Okay, everybody, just slam it. Slam it hard. Good job, Cumin! I think that's it?
Following our latest excursion into the darkest dungeon, week 90, we took our legendary heroes out on an apprentice long mission to fill the boss gauge a lot and to grab some easy money as a cooldown run from the dungeon.
You know, you put enough good faith out there, it comes back to you. We got a gatekeeper. We're getting the countess.
Luckily, as we were laying out our plan for our final 10 weeks here at the Baca Estate, we ran into a gatekeeper of the court and received an invitation from the Countess. So we very well could finish the Crimson Court before our descent into the depths of the dungeon. Week 91, the God Squad, with additional help from Dismas, dove back into the blood-soaked swamps and confronted the Lady of Malady herself, the Countess, in all of her terrible forms. They fought a hard fight against our legends, but ultimately her downfall was all but assured.
Hey, here we go, deep breath. I knew it! 400!
Bent on exacting terrible revenge from beyond the
Alright, two
bounds
things.
of
First off,
decency.
Card Flower Bouquet. That lasts for this whole battle. Next up, the blood. Third up, holy water. Now, set up the riposte. You set up the, let's get on brand here, buddy. Come on, butts. Come on, butts. Get on brand here.
The wounds of war can be healed,
Reaction.
never hidden.
Stress is already climbing because of your tendency to talk to people. Alright, you. Okay. Princess Guard. That's not fun. Why didn't we counter that? Why didn't we counter that? That's not good. Why are we not countering? I'm concerned about that now. That's kind of what this whole team's built for, and they're not doing it. I'm sorry. Problems. Problems are arising. Problems are arising rapidly. This is not great. This is not a good thing. Alright, alright. No, that's to be expected. To be expected. Oh, good. Oh, this is not going great. Alright. Fine. Big damage from Dismiss. And butts. Close this out. Put her away. Let's go!
And on the wings of hope, Butts, our valiant defender, struck down the Queen of Disease and brought relief to our homelands once again. With this monumental task complete, we retired the God Squad and prepared ourselves to face our future without their help, as they have carried us for long enough. Fresh off of our bog high, in week 92, we took the Hellion and gang down into the Warrens in search of the Thing from the sewers. This proved quick and efficient, and more progress was made in the search for the Formless Flesh. The boss progress stopped at 90% on week 93, so without delay, we jumped back in on another Warrens mission, and while we were down there, we decided to summon the Shambler to kill some time before returning to the hamlet.
Slice and bleed. Only got 60 some health. And we dodged. Did it just open its nipples? Is this a space cow? Does it got teeth, udders?
Week 94. We made a big mistake in our haste. We kind of threw together a team really quickly and didn't really pay attention to our party comp, and as we entered the dungeon of the Formless Flesh, we kind of forgot to bring a healer. Being too focused on damage for the boss, we forgot to bring someone to focus on healing, and we ended up losing Booker to the boss, who hits for a lot of damage. Overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer indeed.
You know, I may have misjudged tiny bit.
Teetering on the brink, facing the abyss.
Yep, this is a problem. Alright, I learned my lesson.
This skirmish.
Week 95, and in order to let Paracelsus recover from the catastrophic run the week prior, we gathered up some idle recruits and headed back into the ruins to make progress towards the final prophet.
Oh, but you're useless in the front row. Unless we do this. Yeah.
It's week 96, as we once again delve back into the Warrens to face the Formless Flesh.
You better not.
Trouble was brewing, however, as we lost Montrever early on in the dungeon, and immediately after we were set upon by the Collector. After that, we were in rough shape, but we pressed on into the boss room and we gave it a good shot, until our healer was stunned and both Paracelsus and Waters were sent to death's door, and we had to retreat. Once again, we may get to take the creature down.
Really?
But time is running out. It's week 97 now, and I couldn't let this slight go on. And I remember the old adage, third time's the charm.
I am getting this stupid boss. I am completing at least one region before the end of this. Alright, Jesus, let's oh, cumin. Don't do this to me. Don't you do this to me. It's Eldritch. It's Eldritch. It has a high dodge. And seeing cumin hit for 9 damage is not something I have seen for quite some time. There we go! I'm finishing this region, and I am doing it my way. Alright, it's gonna heal. It's gonna shoot its butt tentacle at us. And it's gonna try and stun us with a ribcage. Little bit of that rejuvenation station. Yeah, you could stop all that. I would not be mad. It's dead this round. Dead this round. This is it. Human, close it. Good job.
This time, us reigning the victor, and the Warrens have been purged of the most heinous of beings.
We got all of the Warrens done.
It's week 98 now, and in week 98 we relaxed. No, really, we relaxed. We had the money, and so we hired some crystal mercenaries and sent them to check out the farmstead to sate ours and their curiosities from the comfort of our place in the hamlet.
Weak or foolhardy.
The farmstead, even with the miller gone, is still a mess, it turns out. And we had to dismiss the mercs once they failed in their expedition. Week 99. It's
On
time.
the old road, we found redemption.
We entered into the darkest dungeon. Reynald, Dismas, Paracelsus, and Erkenbor.
I'm not used to it being so quiet. That's more terrifying than anything.
The pathway was clear, but the ancestor's voice rang loudly through the cosmic rift that the beast resided in. Troubling words floated on air as visions of our ancestor guided us in this silent space out of time.
It's the ancestor.
In all my terrible researches, what I sought was a glimpse behind the veil, a crumb of cosmic truth. I found it here, and in that moment of brain-blasting realization, I ceased to be a man, and became a herald, an avatar of the crawling chaos.
What? Makes it sound like he became the dungeon, or the beast, or whatever this thing is.
Life feeds on life. In your petty pursuit of family redemption, you consume those who rally to your cause, and in so doing, you strengthen the thing, accelerating the end. This is as it should be. It is why you are here.
We fell into a small room in the void
Okay.
and found a note with the words, "Good luck," written on it, from a previous adventuring party known as Red Hook Studios. Wink. Wait, hold on. Why did I write in wink? We don't use cameras here. How is that supposed to be Finding our way back out, we were confronted by the ancestor and each of his terrible forms, as we finally learned that he became the beast that slept beneath.
Will show you.
Or is the ancestor just the thing, or is this just immune to blights? Good. That's not alright.
The battle was fierce, with flesh copies being conjured and hurled in our direction.
Okay, that's not that. That's not. No, don't like that. Don't like that at all.
Until
no.
the ethereal image broke down and showed us a heart. similar in shape to the altar that summons the Shambler.
Alright, don't like
Elsewhere.
that.
Being cautious as the thing didn't
sorry?
strike back,
It is undying.
we carefully attempted to kill the heart, but our strikes did nothing except wake the beast itself in all of its horrific image.
Oh, that wasn't the final phase!
The heart of the world, progenitor of life, father and mother, alpha and omega, our creator and our destroyer.
I see. That's a problem.
Not letting up the assault, the usual suspects pressed on.
We're still gonna point
But
blank it.
not once, but twice, while the attacks flew. The beast picked off Erkenbor first, before snapping back and disintegrating Paracelsus shortly after.
Oh my gosh. And Dismas is stunned.
Dismas and Renaud held fast, however.
I mean, you know what? You could do that again and I wouldn't be mad. Yeah, no, we're good. We got this. Renaud, come on. Buddy. No, it's dead. Wait, it's dead. It's dead. It's dead when it goes.
And within mere moments, the rallying cry was let loose into the stars as the beast collapsed.
Inspiring cry, just for fun.
A warning that we humans are not as easily toppled as whatever entity might think. A cry only heard
Oh
through the
my
vast
God.
void and whatever may be hidden in the dark corners of space.
A hollow and ridiculous notion. We are born of this thing, made from it, and we will be returned to it in time. The great family of man. A profusion of errant flesh, multiplying, swarming, living, dying, until the stars align in their inexorable formation, and what sleeps is roused once more. To hatch from this fragile shell of earth and rock, and bring our inescapable end. So seek solace in a manner befitting your lineage, and take up your nugatory vigil, haunted forever by that sickening prose echoing through the infinite blackness of space and time. Ruin has come to our family.